Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Students, this is the second part of our topic money market and capital market of Pakistan. Today we shall discuss the second part of it, that is capital market of Pakistan. Capital market is the market for long term debts. Money market, we have discussed that it is a market for short term loans. A capital market is a market where long term loans are given and taken. Joint stock companies need long term debts for purchase of fixed assets like plant and machinery, building, and other fixed assets. Students, fixed assets are those assets in which a part of the capital is used for acquisition of land, building, machinery, furniture, fixtures, fixed assets. And working capital is that capital market generates capital formation which is essential for a country's development. So capital formation means that the nation has to collect more and more capital so that it may be used in establishment, development, promotion of industries and other sectors of economy. So this is capital formation and it is developed through savings of the nation or other sources. We may borrow from other agencies, from other countries, and that borrowed capital will also be used in the development of economy. Just like government of Pakistan gets loans from IMF from other countries, that is borrowed capital to make projects, to finalize its projects. That is capital formation through borrowed capital. An efficient capital market usually comprises savings facilities, a banking system, finance for industry, primary and secondary markets where bonds and equities are traded. Equities means shares. Shares of the companies, they are ordinary shares of the company, they are known as equities. So the shares, firstly, they are issued by the company itself, that is primary market, and after it, in the life of the company, the shareholders cannot give back their shares to the company. They can go to the stock exchange and they can sell their shares in that stock market. This will be secondary market. An underwriting system means that when a company issues primarily its shares, then it likes to have surety that the public will take all the shares which are being issued. So it goes through an underwriting agreement with any other company or with a bank that if the public, general public, does not accept all the shares, then the remaining part of the shares which is not sold to the public, that will be bought by that party. This is underwriting system. So underwriting system involving investment banking firms and an official regulatory authority to supervise the market and protect the investors. Capital market in Pakistan. Capital market in Pakistan can be divided into two parts, namely securities market and non-securities market. Securities market in Pakistan is dominated by stock and government bonds. Stock means the shares of the joint stock companies which are converted into stocks. Say, for example, a person has 1000 shares worth rupees 1 lakh. He can go to the company and he can get them converted into one certificate which will be known as stock certificate, and it will have the face value of 1 lakh rupees. So the shares, 1000 share certificates, they will be converted into one stock certificate only. Securities market can be divided into primary securities market and secondary securities market. In the primary market, new securities are issued and offered for sale whereas in the secondary market, existing securities are bought and sold. Stock exchange contributes to a major part of Pakistan capital market. Another important component of securities market is federal investment bond. Now we see the securities market is dominated by a few development finance institutions, that is DFIs. Some important DFIs with their year of establishment are: number one, House Building Finance Corporation (HBFC), which was established in 1952, and its purpose is to give loans for purchase and construction of houses. Number two, Pakistan Industrial Credit and Investment Corporation (PICIC). PICIC. It was established in 1957, and its objective is to provide medium and long-term loans to private industrial sector. The number three is Industrial Development Bank of Pakistan (IDBP). It was established in 1961, and its purpose is to provide term finance to SMEs, that is small and medium enterprises. This is a sector of the government which comprises of small enterprises, small business, small units of business, and medium sized business of units. They are collectively known as SMEs. Then number four, Agricultural Development Bank of Pakistan (ADBP). It was established in 1961, and the purpose of it is to provide finance for agriculture and agro-based industries. It is now called Zari Taraqqiyati Bank Limited (ZTBL). So ADBP has been converted into ZTBL. The purpose remains the same, to provide finance for agriculture and agro-based industries. It is a major source of agriculture finance or agriculture credit for our farmers. The number five is National Investment Trust (NIT). It was established in 1962. Its purpose is to mobilize savings for investment in the securities market and mutual funds. That is, people purchase NIT units from this DFI, and that amount is the savings of the people, which is converted by the NIT, by this trust, into investment in various securities, and it gives profit or dividend on these uh, shares. It gets earns dividend on those shares, and it gives interest or profit to the people who purchase NIT units. Number six is Investment Corporation of Pakistan (ICP). It was established in 1966. Its purpose is to develop the capital market and broaden the base of equity investment. Equity investment means that is investment in companies' shares. The number seven, Equity Participation Fund (EPF). It was established in 1970, and its purpose is to promote SMEs in the private sector in less developed areas by providing equity and underwriting share issues. That is, share capital is also provided by this EPF, particularly in less developed areas or backward areas, so that these areas may also become developed and equal to the other areas of the country. The number eight is Small Business Finance Corporation (SBFC). It was established in 1972, and its purpose is to finance cottage and small scale industries. Students, we have already discussed cottage and small scale industries in our manufacturing sector topic. Now these small industries are given loans by the Small Business Finance Corporation. The number nine is National Development Finance Corporation (NDFC). It was established in 1973. Its purpose is to provide medium and long-term loans, working capital to public and private sector. That is, it gives loans for more than 1 year, maybe 5 years, 7 years, 10 or 15 years. So this is long-term loans. So NDFC advances loans to public companies also and to private sector also on medium and long term basis. The number 10, Federal Bank for Cooperatives, FBC. It was established in 1976 and its purpose is to finance provincial cooperative banks and cooperative societies. Students, it is particularly for agriculture sector where farmers they form cooperative societies, they get these societies registered with the bank, cooperative banks, cooperative department, and these societies they get loans for their members, farmers, from FBC, Federal Bank of Cooperatives. This Federal Bank of Cooperatives again has branches in all the provinces which are known as provincial cooperative banks, and they have their branches at district levels, and they deal in loans which are given to the cooperative societies, and through cooperative societies these loans go into the hands of their members who are the farmers, and in this way agriculture sector is being promoted. The number 11, Park Libya Holding Company, PLHC. It was established in 1978. It is a joint venture to provide equity finance to industries. Students, here I should explain holding company. Holding company is that big company which purchases the shares of smaller companies, and on the basis of those shares that big company intervenes in the internal management of the smaller companies. So this is a form of business combination, holding company, and holding company is that company which has a hold on the other companies because it has purchased a majority of shares of some small companies. Then number 12, Parkway Investment Company, PKIC. It was established in 1979. It is also a joint venture to provide equity finance. Equity finance means to purchase shares of a company and to set up new industries in Pakistan. Then number 13, Saudi Park Industrial and Agricultural Investment, SAPICO. It was established in 1981. It is also a joint venture to provide finance by equity financing and debt financing in the private sector. Equity financing means that this organization purchases the shares of companies, and debt financing is that it gives loans to the companies, to the private sector in Pakistan. The number 14, National Development Leasing Corporation, NDLC. It was established in 1984. It provides finance for leasing operations. Leasing means to give something for use and to get some reward on that loan, that is leasing agreement. Just like people get loan for car purchase from the banks, and they get these cars on lease and they pay to the bank something more than the actual price of that car. So this is just like a leasing operation, leasing transaction. Then number 15, Regional Development Finance Corporation, RDFC. It was established in 1985. Its purpose is to provide finance for investment in viable projects in less developed areas. Now we see what are the instruments of capital market in Pakistan. The most important instruments of capital market in Pakistan are: number 1, equities or shares. They are the most risky investment as compared to government papers. With the establishment of new companies, the market of shares or equities is going on wide day by day. Equities mean the ordinary shares of companies. These shares carry the main risk of the business. Dividend on the ordinary shares is paid after payment of dividend to preference shareholders. Now students, again there are two types of company shares. One is the preference shares. They are known as preference shares because they are given preference at two occasions. First one, at the time of distribution of dividend, that first of all company pays dividend to the shareholders who have preference shares, and after that the company gives dividend to the shareholders which have ordinary shares. So dividends. Number two is Federal Investment Bonds, FIBs. FIBs are the major instruments of government's permanent debt. FIBs are issued for three different maturities, that is 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years. 3 years FIBs are called short term, while 5 years and 10 years FIBs are called medium and long term permanent debts respectively. That is, the bonds for 3 years, they are short term bonds, and the bonds for 5 years, they are medium term bonds, and the bonds for 10 years, they are long term permanent debts. They are purchased by the public or by the financial institutions, and that amount is invested by the government in its economic projects. Now, FEBs and BNEBs, these two form the second largest component of government's permanent debt. FEBCs mean foreign exchange bearer certificates. Now, students, bearer certificate is that which can be given to any other person without any record, without any change in the record. Just like bearer check, you can transfer that check. Mr. A can transfer it to B, B can transfer it to Mr. C, C can transfer it to Mr. D. So there is no need of any record entries on that bearer check. And lastly, when that check will be encashed, then the story will come to an end. Then BNFBs are bearer national fund bonds. These bonds and certificates are actively traded on a stock exchange because there is very ease and simplicity. The holders of these bonds, they can just hand over these bonds to other persons who purchase those bonds, and there is no need to go on into recording or transactions in the books, etc. These bonds and certificates are actively traded on a stock exchange, that is, they are bought and sold at a stock exchange. Corporate bonds. Corporate bonds are mainly WAPDA bonds. WAPDA issued registered bonds of 3.1 billion and 5.6 billion, and it issued bearer bonds of 6.8 billion and 1.4 billion. Registered bonds are mortgage bonds which are secured. Bearer bonds are debentures and unsecured. Now, students, I should explain you what is registered and what is bearer. The bearer bond is that Mr. A, for example, Mr. A has purchased a bearer bond of rupees 1 lakh, then it can be sold to Mr. B by mere delivery. He, Mr. A, will hand over this bond to Mr. B and he will get cash from Mr. B. This is the complete transaction. But in case of registered security, registered bonds, they are mortgaged. That is, there is a security against these bonds of property or other machinery, land, building, etc. So they are secured bonds. That is, if the company or WAPDA fails to pay the amount of those bonds, then the lenders, the bondholders, they can get their money back by selling that property by order of the court. But bearer bonds, they have no security. They are just like debentures and they can be exchanged. They can be bought and sold by mere delivery. Mr. A delivers to B, Mr. B delivers to C, and so on. The transactions go on. Then other instruments of capital market are Number one, term loan agreements. These loans are issued by commercial banks for the period of more than 1 year. Term loans, that is what is the maturity? 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. So they are for more than 1 year. 1 year is the short term, and more than 1 year it will be medium term or long term. The number two, equipment financing agreements. Business firms also borrow from commercial banks for purchase of tools and equipment. Now, students, the procedure is that the companies they issue equipment purchase debentures, equipment debentures, and these debentures are certificates of loans which are accepted by the public or which are accepted by the commercial banks, and the purpose is to purchase some machinery, tools, equipment, plant and machinery, etc. So the purpose of issuing these bonds or issuing these certificates is very clear, and the amount or loan got from this for the commercial banks or public, that will be used for this particular purpose only. The number three is sale and lease back agreements. Business firms take loans by mortgaging their fixed assets and lease back their property or fixed assets after end of the term. That is, during the tenure of the loan, that property shall be in capacity of the lender, and when the loan will come mature, then the property will be returned back to the original company. Then we see what are the characteristics of a developed capital market, or we may say the prerequisites of a developed capital market. What should be the qualities of a developed capital market? Number one, all the credit institutions are adequately regulated and supervised. Their all activities are properly coordinated. Number two, there is a close relationship between the rate of interest charged on different kinds of loans. Number three, it can adequately respond to the needs of trade and industry at different times. Number four, it has sufficient funds to meet long-term credit needs of different sectors of the economy. Number five, it has facilities for conversion of fixed assets into liquid assets. Now, students, fixed assets we are seeing just like building, machinery, tools, plant, etc. And liquid assets means cash. So, when a company comes to an end, or when a company is in need of some loan from the public or from other sources, then it can dispose of its fixed assets and it can convert it into liquid assets, that means cash. The number six, it has a mechanism for credit rating of investors. Number seven, it provides effective safeguard against rigging. रिगिंग जिसको आप धांधली कह सकते हैं, तो ये स्टॉक मार्केट जो है, कैपिटल मार्केट जो है, वो ये धांधली, हेरा फेरी, धोखाधड़ी जो है उसके ख़िलाफ़ भी जो है वो चौकस रहती है और अपने मेंबर्स को या जो भी इसके जो है कंपोनेंट्स हैं जो इसमें हिस्सा लेते हैं उनके मफादात का तहफ़्फ़ुज़ करती है, किसी के साथ धोखा फ्रॉड ना हो जाए. Now, students, we see stock exchange or stock market. That is, both the terms are used. Stock exchange or stock market is a market for exchange of shares and stocks. Initially, shares are sold to general public by the companies by issue of prospectus. This is called primary market of securities and also called as initial public offering, IPO. Investors and speculators want to buy and sell shares of existing companies. Now, students, I should explain investors and speculators. Investors are those people who purchase the shares of a company and they like to retain those shares with them. They like to keep those shares so that they can earn dividend on those shares and they can have a part-time or side business to get dividends or profit on the shares. But speculators, they are the persons who are not interested in keeping the shares with them. They are just interested in getting profit on the buying and selling of those shares. So they are speculators. They purchase the shares and they are in search of the occasion when those shares may give them profit. They sell those shares on profit. Then they purchase some other shares of other companies who they think that they will be giving some profit in a near future. And when the prices of those shares go up, they sell those shares in the market, stock market, and they again purchase some other shares. So these are speculators. But investors, they keep the shares with them and they go on getting dividend on those shares from the companies. They are just like shareholders or owners of the company. Stock exchange facilitates the act of buying and selling shares and stock. Exchange is conducted only through members, that is stock brokers. That is, in the stock exchange, only a member who may be a stock broker or who may be a jobber. Broker is that person who contacts with the parties who like to sell the shares and who like to purchase the shares. He gets commission for this act and that is known as broker. Jobber is a person who deals in shares. That is just like a shopkeeper or dealer. He has shares of different companies. Some jobbers they have shares of cement factories, some have shares of textile mills, some have shares of woolen mills, and so on. The jobbers, they are the dealers. They are also members of the stock exchange and they buy and sell shares themselves. So it may be defined as a market where listed securities are bought and sold through members either for investment or for speculative purpose. Now listed securities are those shares and certificates or stock which are issued by the companies which are listed by the stock exchange. Some companies are listed on the stock exchange, they are known as listed companies. And some companies which are not listed, they are non-listed companies. Approximately all the companies they try to get themselves registered with the stock market so that their shares may have a goodwill and they may be bought and sold at the stock market. Then stock exchange in Pakistan. In Pakistan, the first stock exchange, namely Karachi Stock Exchange (KSE), was established in 1948. Lahore Stock Exchange (LSE) was established in 1970. Islamabad Stock Exchange (ISE) was established in 1989. All these are companies limited by guarantee. Now, students, a company limited by guarantee is that when it is wound up, it comes to an end, then the members are given a guarantee that they will not be asked to pay any amount than more than the amount fixed in that guarantee. So this is known as company limited by guarantee. The other companies they are limited by shares. It means that when the company will come to an end, the shareholders of the company will have to pay the amount equal to the face value of their shares only and not more than that. So this is limited by shares. These are two main types of companies, limited by shares and limited by guarantee. So the stock exchanges companies, they are limited by guarantee. KSE is the biggest stock exchange in Pakistan. LSE and ISE follow the prices of KSE. In 2002, KSE was declared as the best stock exchange in the world. Now, functions of stock exchange. The first, exchange of securities. This is the basic function. It provides a marketplace for investors and speculators for buying and selling securities. Number two, it makes rules of the trade. It makes and adopts rules. Adopts rules means that acts on those rules and regulations of trading at a stock exchange. Number three, clearinghouse. In collaboration with banks, it maintains a clearinghouse for the purpose of trading securities. Clearinghouse where give and take takes place. The people who have to pay, they pay the amount, and people who have to receive, they get the amount. So this will be clearinghouse. So through the stock exchange, the speculators or the investors, buyers and sellers, they clear their accounts. Number four is listing of companies. Stock exchange makes and adopts rules for listing of companies because the securities issued by listed companies only are traded in stock exchange. I have just explained you what is listing. It also makes rules for suspension and delisting of companies. That is, if a company goes against the rules of the stock market or the laws or the regulations issued by the government, then a stock market can take action against such companies. It can suspend such companies or it can declare delisting of that company. Delisting means that in the future the shares or certificates or stock etc. of that company will not be traded in the stock exchange. This is delisting. The number five, arbitration of disputes. It provides arbitration of disputes among persons engaged in trading at a stock exchange. ये आर्बिट्रेशन जो है जिसको आप सालसी कहते हैं कि अगर दो फ्रीक आपस में झगड़ पड़ते हैं तो जो बंदा उनमें सुलह कराता है, मसालत कराता है, उसको आर्बिट्रेटर कहते हैं, सालिस कहते हैं। सालिस का मतलब होता है तीसरा। तो दो तो फ्रीक हो गए जो लड़ रहे हैं आपस में, और तीसरा जो है वो उसका जो है जो उनका फैसला कराने आता है वो जो है सालिस होता है, आर्बिट्रेटर होता है। तो जो झगड़े उनमें पैदा हो जाते हैं स्टॉक एक्सचेंज के मेंबर्स के दरमियान डीलिंग के दौरान, तो स्टॉक एक्सचेंज जो है उसका ये भी काम है कि वो उन तनाज़ात को, उन झगड़ों को ख़त्म कराने के लिए मुसालियत का किरदार अदा करता है, सालिस का किरदार अदा करता है। द नंबर सिक्स, मार्केट इंफॉर्मेशन। इट प्रोवाइड डिसेमिनेशन। डिसेमिनेशन मीन्स स्प्रेडिंग, फैलाना, of all relevant information regarding trade of securities. Now we discuss another thing, that is Central Depository System, CDS. The Central Depository System is an electronic book entry system to record and transfer securities. This system changes ownership of securities without their physical movement. The CDS is operated by a Central Depository Company of Pakistan Limited, CDC. The system works similar to a bank. तो इस सिस्टम के ज़रिए से जो है मसलन ए ने जो है अपनी फ़र्ज़ करें 1000 शेयर जो है वो बेच दिए बी के आगे, तो अब ये इस सिस्टम के ज़रिए जो है उन शेयर्स की मिल्कियत जो है वो ए के नाम से जो है ख़त्म हो जाएगी, बी के नाम पे हो जाएगी। तो ये जो रिकॉर्ड कीपिंग है ये जो है इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली होती है। तो इस सिस्टम के ज़रिए जो है और उनको जो है कोई मैनुअल जो है काम नहीं करना पड़ता इस सिलसिले में। तो ये इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली जो है ये सारा सिलसिला होता है। बैंक की ट्रांजैक्शन की तरह जो है ये जैसा वो कंप्यूटराइज काम करता है, इसी तरह ये सिस्टम जो है बैंक की तरह काम करता है। दैन स्टॉक मार्केट इंडेक्स। स्टॉक मार्केट इंडेक्स मेजर्स चेंज इन ओवरऑल प्राइसेस ऑफ शेयर्स having traded in a stock exchange with reference to a base value and with reference to a specific point of time. In Pakistan, the most popular stock market index is KSE 100. It was introduced on 1st November 1991 with a base value of 1000. KSE 100 consists of shares of 100 companies listed on KSE and represent about 90% of market capitalization of the exchange. So the system is that a particular base equal to 1000 or say 100, it is taken and it is seen that what is the up and down in the values of the shares. Then according to that, for example, if we say that the values of shares have been gone up by 10%, so this is relevant to the that particular base. So if we have base of 100, then what is the change? The change is positive, that the values have gone up by 10%. The value of those securities which was 100 at a particular time, now it is 110. And on the other hand, if the value of the securities goes on, falls down, then it will be 10% below it, below the base. So this is the system in which the index is shown whether the values of shares and securities are going up or they are going down. इसको जो है आपने अखबारात अगर आप पढ़ते हैं तो स्टॉक मार्केट का जो है रोज़ाना एक रिपोर्ट आती है, उसमें ये बताया जाता है कि KSE 100 जो है उसमें क्या तब्दीलियाँ आई हैं और उसमें कंपनियों के शेयर्स का जो है सिलसिला कैसा रहा है। उसमें यूँ होता है कि 20 कंपनियों के शेयर्स की कीमतों में इस्तेहकाम रहा। इस्तेहकाम रहा का मतलब होता है कि वो बरकरार रही, ना उनमें कमी हुई ना उसमें इजाफा हुआ। उसमें होता है फिर कि 50 कंपनियों के शेयर्स में तेज़ी आई, तो तेज़ी आई का मतलब ये होता है कि उनकी वैल्यू जो है उसमें इजाफा हो गया है। और फिर कुछ कंपनियों के बारे में लिखा जाता है कि उनकी कीमतें जो हैं वो गिर गई, उनमें जो है कमी आ गई। तो ये स्टॉक मार्केट में जो स्टॉक रिपोर्ट जो होती हैं ये हर रोज़ अखबार में छपती हैं, ये आप देखा करें, उससे भी आपको काफ़ी गाइडेंस मिलेगी। Now Securities and Exchange Commission of Pakistan, that is the institution which regulates and which supervises all the functions of stock market, that is Securities and Exchange Commission of Pakistan. The Securities and Exchange Commission of Pakistan was set up under the Securities and Exchange Commission of Pakistan Act 1997. The commission is a body corporate. Body corporate means just like register a company with perpetual succession and a common seal. Head office of the commission is at Islamabad. Now students, every joint stock company which is registered with the law, that is a body corporate with perpetual succession and a common seal. Perpetual succession means they are the owners or the shareholders of the company. They may die, but the company will go on. The company is not affected by the health or death of the shareholders. The company has its own legal life. So this is perpetual succession. And a common seal means that every joint stock company which is registered, it has its particular seal, and that seal is affixed on the documents which are issued by the company. That seal shows that this paper, this document has been issued by the company. Then its head office of the commission is at Islamabad. The SECP's policy board is the highest body to look after the affairs of SECP and to make policy decisions. The policy board is the highest body and it formulates policies, how to work, what to decide, how to act upon these decisions. The board oversees performance of SCCP. It provides guidance to the Commission in all matters regarding its functions and formulates policies. The commission consists of chairman and such number of commissioners as may be determined by the federal government. The chairman directly supervises working of some of the departments and he is assisted by the commissioners for the management of operational divisions of SECP. That is, the whole task is divided into various divisions and every division is run by a commissioner who is the member of the commission, and these commissioners they help and assist the chairman of the commission. Then the commission's secretariat. It is headed by secretary, just like civil departments, education department, health department, labor department, etc. And the heads of these departments are always secretary of the department. So it operates under the direct control of the chairman. That is, the secretariat of the commission operates under the direct control of the chairman. It coordinates overall functioning of SECP and also coordinates with external entities. Those external entities may be the other governments, may be the foreign agencies, may be multilateral or international organizations, or the government agencies. Main functions of SECP are monitoring, review of loan, identification of the policy matter, registration of companies, granting license approval for issue of securities, audit and investigation of companies, making research and ensuring public access to the documents, etc. So this department, that this commission is governing and operating a stock market or stock exchange in Pakistan. Now, this is the end of our today's topic, money market and capital market of Pakistan. Thank you very much.